Howdy, it's Michael Exile, and welcome back to another Hunt Showdown video. So if you haven't been living under a rock, you've seen the community update from Crytek detailing that the promised 1.5 updates, like customizable ammo and a new boss, will be delayed until 2021. However, they did leave us with images hinting of new weapons and a new map. Today, Crytek held a nearly 2-hour livestream giving more information on update 1.4.8 and what changes from 1.5 that will still be making it to the game before the end of the year. And if you're like me, it's difficult to sit through a 2-hour livestream and you just want to cut to the meat of the stream and hear about all the changes. Luckily, I've gathered all the information from the live stream and I'll be condensing it into a shorter video so you can stay up to date without missing any of the details. There's a lot of changes, so let's get right into it. To kick it off, the developers started by explaining what will not be coming due to the 1.5 delay. This includes the customizable ammo type, new map, new boss, but they promised we would not go empty-handed, with many of the items included in 1.5 making its way into 1.4.8. The first reveal they had for us is new looting options. They expressed they wanted to give players more to interact with around the map while exploring, similar to like registers and weapons. The first item revealed was envelopes. These envelopes can contain 1000 Hunter XP, 500 Bloodline XP, or 3 to 6 upgrade points. These can be found in the usual spots you find registers and weapons, as well as on the walls. I'll show images on the screen of what these envelopes look like. Up to 2 players can interact with these envelopes like any other objects on the map, and this is pretty new for Hunt. Getting upgrade points from envelopes is going to be huge. A lot of the time, you know, you have some slow games where you don't get a lot of upgrade points, or you kind of have a hard time getting upgrade points in general, and you just can't really get a loaded hunter. So this will make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe you'll have more matches where you actually have traits. This would be an interesting change to see. The next item reveal is money bags, and as you can expect, these are small pouches of currency that will be much more common than registers. These contain 10 to 15 hunt dollars or 2 to 3 blood bonds, and the small pouch with the hunt dollars is just a regular looking pouch, really small, kind of hard to see. It's on top of barrels on the ground. Again, I'll have images on the screen. And the blood bonds pouch is a gold pouch, which is also still pretty hard to see. They're very small pouches. Next up is gun oil and blueprints. Gun oil are tin cans found on the map that can clean your weapons for free. And blueprints are blueprint schematics found on the map that unlock the next weapon variant of your currently equipped weapon. And this is brand new to Hunt. Obviously, like, not a lot of people clean their weapons. It's not really worth the blood bonds, you know, but I mean, why would you pass up a free gun oil to clean up your weapon, you know? I feel like it'll make it a lot more enticing to just look around, I guess. Clean your gun for the kicks, you know? And the blueprints is huge. Unlocking your next weapon variant can be kind of a pain sometimes, you know, with like having to kill things and not really having the best matches sometimes. It's a nice reason to look around the map and get your next weapon variant without any hassle. The final item they revealed is called Trait Charms, and Trait Charms are optional interactable items that give a random trait to your hunter upon pickup. And these look like little ornaments, and they can be found on the map as usual, or you can earn them by killing a meathead. And unlike earning trait points in the game, you get these traits immediately. It's kind of like quick play, I guess. When you pick up a clue, you get a trait from it. I guess this is a similar way to work around it, I guess, and it gives you a free trait. You can see what the trait is on the ground. You just can't pick and choose what trait you get. So this is pretty interesting. You might find a good trait out there that you didn't have on your hunter, like your level 1 hunter, for example, with nothing on it. Like, it'll make for some interesting gameplay. The next addition to improve exploration is new watchtowers. These watchtowers were originally intended for map number 3, but made their way into the current maps as well. These large structures can be found in 3 locations, 1 on Lawson Delta and 2 in Stillwater Bayou. These towers are much bigger than the current watchtowers in the game, and they can spawn over currently existing bunkers that you can find by, I think it was Sweet Bell. I'll show the images on the screen for those. The boards under the watchtowers can be shot through with the right ammo, and there are very few angles from the inside for a player to shoot out of, so it's much less viable for campers, I guess you can say. And there is some potential counterplay for trying to kill a hunter in the watchtower. These watchtowers also guarantee supplies, a mix of 2 ammo boxes, health, or weapon on top. The old hunting towers are not going anywhere though. They also got upgraded to contain half of this loot, so you can find a medkit at the top of the watchtower if you wanted to. This gives you much more ways to, I guess, restock on ammo or heal. Now we move on to weapon variants. The Winfield is getting a new variant called the Winfield Musket Bayonet. It has a longer barrel and a bayonet attachment. This variant can hold 2 more ammo in the magazine, and due to its size, it levers at a slightly slower speed. This variant will cost $137 and will be at the end of the Winfield variant unlocks. Next up, the Nagant Officer Carbine now has a Deadeye variant. This is probably one of the scarier additions coming in my eyes. The recoil will be stronger while zoomed in and cost $211 hunt dollars. Because of this, the original carbine price will increase from $80 to $155 hunt dollars. You will not need Deadeye Scopesmith to stay in sight. Now we move on to the gunplay changes, or gameplay changes. The first change is coming to antidote shots. Antidote shots no longer reduce all poison damage. What this means is physical attacks will hurt as normal instead, and you will still have immunity to poisoning and poison clouds. Basically, this means that if you are getting attacked by a hive, the bees will do full damage. If you're getting attacked by a spider, you'll still be dealt full damage. You just won't be poisoned and you'll still be able to heal. And I guess this is a much needed nerf to the antidote. It was kind of strong since it really did dampen down the damage that you took from these poison effects or this poison damage. So I guess it's a much needed change. I'm not really happy about it, but I guess it makes sense. Next in line is melee changes. The hit detection for melee has been improved. This makes hits more reliable for machetes, heavy knives, hatchets, and talons. So if you use any of these ever, and you've tried to like hit anything like a grunt or even a player, you'll notice that like the hitbox doesn't seem right. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't register. Like it's just the angle that you swing at doesn't really seem right, and it doesn't really hit. This is what this is aimed to fix, and it's nice to hear that they're fixing that, so like using these weapons is a little bit more viable. A much needed rework has come to the Ghoul trait, and maybe amongst some of the more powerful traits now with this change. Ghoul now gives 5 HP upon killing a nearby grunt. This allows you to recover empty health bars and recover from bleeds. So I'm assuming you can't shoot grunts and heal. I mean, it has to be from a certain distance, obviously, but you can't like snipe grunts and heal 5 HP. But if you melee these grunts, you're going to heal 5 HP. And I'm pretty sure there's no cap on that. You can just melee as many grunts as you want. So if you're meleeing a group of grunts, you're probably going to be really safe. And if you're getting attacked by a pack of dogs, you can just attack a grunt and stop the bleed and heal up without like having to, I guess, bandage yourself or something. So that's a pretty strong perk. I'm interested to see how that one works. And for the final gameplay change, the Concertina Bomb has received a pretty noteworthy buff. The deployment for Concertina Bombs has been decreased by 1 whole second, from 1.5 to 0.5 seconds. This allows for more offensive use. And I've already been killed by a Concertina Bomb in the middle of a fight from a guy that was like at least like 10 feet away from me. And I killed him, but then he ended up killing me by the Concertina Bomb, so I can only imagine how this is going to turn out. I am not excited for it, but we'll see how it turns out. Now we move on to the more quality of life changes. The unlock rank for a few weapons and items has changed. The Dusters are now unlocked at rank 1 instead of 20, Spyglass is now at rank 1 instead of rank 24, Machete has been moved from rank 12 to rank 24, the Nagant Officer has been moved from 36 to 12, and the Winfield non-C variant has been moved to rank 20 from rank 42. And I gotta say, the Dusters make sense. I hated having to wait to unlock the Dusters so I can kill those immos and get my knuckle knife, because I love the knuckle knife now. It's been my main weapon of choice, and I'm happy to see that change. It just makes sense. People can deal with the immolators more easily in the early levels. Spyglass is useless, so it's obvious it should be at rank 1 because no one really uses it anyways. And the Machete doesn't really make sense. It's kind of useless, but apparently all these changes are being made to make room for new weapons coming. But let's move on to the faster weapon progression. It will now be possible to overspill XP once you've unlocked a variant, meaning you can unlock multiple variants per mission. And it's also intended that blueprints can also stack with this, so you can probably unlock several variants of a weapon in one match. And for people that play the game often, you know, it's just kind of tedious to unlock variants every prestige, so I feel like this will ease the pain a lot of that grind. Bounty Hunt will be receiving a few much needed changes as well. Clues will now provide 1 second of dark boost while carrying a bounty. So this makes it easier for a team to decide if they want to use their dark sight to find the other bounties of a second bounty or something, or find the clues for a second bounty. It is pretty annoying to have to use your dark sight boost sometimes, especially if you're a solo player looking for the clues to get to the next bounty and you're wasting your dark sight in the process. It's just annoying to do, so that's a good change. Extraction distribution will be improved. At least one extraction will be 500 meters away. So if you've ever seen in your game that you had all 3 exits in one corner, that's no longer going to be possible. According to them, they will have at least one exit at least 500 meters away. Obviously, it's kind of hard to like space these out properly with like it being random and all, but apparently this eases the frustration of having all your exits in one corner, and I'm very excited to see this change. Banishing now restores all health chunks, and this is huge because a lot of the time you may be getting into a lot of fights before you even get to a bounty, and your teammate or even yourself may lose a lot of chunks, and when you banish the bounty you still don't get all your chunks and you'll still be one shot to a lot of weapons. So this is a huge change, and I'm happy to see it. It makes sense, and it makes it less confusing whether or not they will get their whole health bars back. Settings are now included for interaction outlines. You have an option to turn off outlines for interactions or players, and another option to simply turn off outlines for doors and windows. This means that doors and windows will no longer have the glowing effect when you're looking at them, and it will allow you to see through them a lot better. Or if you just want to like have a total like realism mode and you don't want to see your teammates' outlines, that's also an option. Or you can also just keep them the same like they are currently. This is huge for like the veteran players that know what they can interact with, you know, and it's kind of hard to see through windows or doors sometimes when they flash. And it kind of can lead to people getting shot a lot through doors and stuff because they can't see through it. The developer ended these changes with some new legendary content for the Winfield Silencer, Nagant Office Brawler, and the Spark Silencer that I will put on the screen. And to end the stream, they gave us the one more thing treatment, revealing that the new boss was in fact hinted in the community update where they showed us a ton of images for 1.5. And they explained that the hunter does not hold an axe in one hand, like a usual hunter does not hold an axe in one hand. This could mean that the crow-looking person that we saw in that image that I'll show on the screen again is a hunter boss that we've been asking for, which is pretty exciting. He kind of looks like a crow person. Maybe he's part of like a cult in the game. I forgot what they're called, like the Weird Sister and all that. Maybe he might be something to do with them, but that's pretty exciting stuff. They also confirmed that the Winfield M hinted in the images is in fact a medium ammo Winfield. The lever action Winfield shotgun that they showed off as well will most likely not be a semi-automatic according to them. Obviously these are in early stages, so they can't give much more information on that. We can just only hope that these weapons come out balanced and not totally break the game. I really don't want a levering shotgun. They also showed a few more close-up images of the new maps, but it's just the same old like old photo looking thing that doesn't really show you a lot of details. But I'll potentially link the patch notes or whatever shows those off in the description. Finally, they end the stream with one more hint, showing off a Christmas present. This is confirming that there will be a Christmas event very soon. They didn't give much details on what kind of skins are coming for that. They just said that the event's coming. And overall, I can't say I'm not happy with these changes. We got a lot of changes, even though 1.5 is not coming this year. And it's a lot of much needed content and updates, quality of life changes that will keep us going for sure until the 1.5 patch. I can say I'm a bit disappointed that we didn't hear much about weapon balance changes, since spam is pretty oppressive in the game right now, and it's causing a lot of frustration even for myself. Maybe it was left out because the main focus was mostly new content, and hopefully that is the case. Some of my concerns relating to the new content relate to the Ghoul perk and the Nagant Carbine Deadeye. Because I feel like in the right hands, these will be like super frustrating to go against, and it'll lead to like some rough times in the Bayou. But I can just imagine the Nagant Carbine Deadeye just clicking heads. It's just so easy for the very good players especially. But they did say that these changes are on the test server, and the test server is live now. So at the time of this video, it's been live for a few hours now probably, or even a day depending on when I upload this. But yeah, so don't forget to go and play and give your feedback. Obviously these changes seem great, but they do probably need some balancing and fixes, so make sure that you go and test it out and give them your feedback, because I'm sure it'll help a lot and make sure that the game doesn't this update doesn't release in a broken state and we can have a good time for the holidays. But for now, that'll be it for me. If you want to discuss more about these updates or future updates coming to Hunt, you can find me on Twitch over at twitch.tv/MichaelExile or at Twitter over at MichaelExile. I also hang out in my Discord, the Small Game Society. I'll have all these links in the description below. But if you want to chat with the rest of my community, you're more than welcome to join my Discord. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the bayou. Peace.